What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix-land? This, once again, is Scott Porter, back for day 3 of our brand new HeroClix unboxing series, this time for the brand new HeroClix set DC Notorious, dealing with all of the incredible DC villains you could ever want in this mega-sized HeroClix set that is coming to you on September the 20th, with the pre-release happening on September the 6th. Now, we are getting a super duper sneak peek at all of it, and so far I have not been disappointed. We have pulled villains from a lot of different corners of the DC universe. I read a lot of awesome villainous storylines coming into this whole thing, so I was already ramped up, but I hope you guys are just as hyped as I am right now. We've pulled 3 super rares so far. We have one prime possibility with King Shark, but I'm hoping for more. We have seen some really surprising sculpts for figures. Yesterday, we pulled some Super Friends versions of Sinestro. So I'm just kind of wondering, just how far back they're going to go to pull some of these notorious villains into the game of HeroClix. We haven't seen anything from Deceased yet. We haven't seen any chase figures or anything. But we have seen an awful lot of the figures that are on the outside of the box, and I can't wait to see more. Remember, if you didn't see days 1 or 2, press pause, go back, watch those. Day 3, our little special treat at the end of this video is to take a look at the OP kit for this set that focuses around the Riddler, I believe. Now, we saw a pretty cool version of the Riddler that was kind of based loosely around a story in the early 90s called Run, Riddler, Run. I talked about the One Bad Day Riddler, but there have been a ton of really good Riddler stories. I don't know what it is about that character that lends itself so well to really fantastic writing, but he is a character to me that doesn't really ever disappoint, and I can't wait to see what that OP Kit character, our figure, turns out to be. Okay, without further ado, let's just jump in to day 3 here. Man, we've seen some Lantern stuff, a lot of Batman stuff. Haven't really seen, we saw Lex Luthor, so Superman. Haven't seen any of the rogues yet. I really want some rogues. Let me know in the comments down below. What hero in DC Comics do you love the rogues gallery for the most? Tell me down below in the comments. Is it the Flash's rogues? Is it Batman's rogues? Is it the Lantern rogues? Tell me what villains you really, really love in the DC universe down below. For me, the Flash's rogues have just such a special place in my heart. I love them. I love the blue-collar attitude of them. And the Flash is one of my favorite characters ever, but quite often a hero is only as good as his villains, which is why Batman is so elevated for so many people. I completely get it. But for me, I've always loved the Flash villains. I'm hoping that we can pull some of them, because there are some of them on the outside of this box. Captain Cold, I think, has to be in this set, but I wouldn't mind a couple of others. Here we go with the sometimes-ish good guy, because he's forced to be Deadshot in this booster. Ooh. We've got another one of the big bads. We've got Brainiac. Oh, yeah, we haven't seen, Darkseid. Darkseid has to be in the set, right? If we're Notorious, big villains all across the galaxy. Oh, yes, we've got Bizarro, actually. We've seen Batman. We haven't seen Superman, but Bizarro is always fun. We've got a Joker Goon. One of my favorite things about this set so far has been this Goon mechanic, and we're still getting more Goons. Now, of course, we had to expect the Joker to have a Goon. And last but not least, would it be the Guardians of the Universe Goons? The Manhunters, who have caused a lot of pain and a lot of destruction in the DC Universe. So really interesting to see them. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the Guardians, especially Scar or Syed or Ganthet. I don't know how you say. Sayed? I always said Syed, S-A-Y-D. Anyway, I don't know. I digress. I think today we're going to start with this Joker Goon, just because I do love the Goon mechanic so far. So take a peek. Joker Goon here. Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Underworld, and Brute. Expendable Joker Goon, Joker's Posse. When Joker Goon is KO'd by an opposing character after resolutions, you may roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, generate a smoke terrain marker. So yesterday, Black Manta's Goon leaves water terrain. Mr. Freeze's goon leaves blocking terrain that is ice. They have to break away from it. This one is smoke terrain marker in the square Joker goon last occupied. On a 4 to a 6, generate a character with an expendable goon trait on its 15-point starting line. So the Joker goons charge, 8 movement, 11 attack with some precision strike there. You got super senses. You've got exploit weakness for 3 damage. But remember, that's the 50-point line. The 15-point line doesn't look too bad. Of course, Flurry and Blade's Claws, anytime you can get it, is dangerous if you can roll high enough. The fact that they have the Batman enemy team ability will, of course, help remedy that 9 attack value on that 15-point starting line. I love the fish. I love the fish. Absolutely love the fish. This is great. I love the fish club. Very reminiscent of some games as well. So there we go. Another goon. Let's look at the Manhunters next. Now, the Manhunters have a very dark past in DC. See, Guardians of the Universe, the people, the little blue guys that put the Green Lantern Corps together and tried to protect the entire universe, they decided to rid themselves of their emotions a long time ago. And their first police force, or attempt at police force before the Green Lantern Corps, were the Manhunters. You see Sinestro Corps, Cosmic Police, a robot, keyword, set number 5, comes in at 30-point value here. They have a trait, no man escapes the Manhunters. During force construction, for all characters with this trait, for every 3 Manhunters you paid to add to your force, you may add 1 Manhunter without paying its cost. You get 4 Manhunters for 90 points. It's a buy 3, get 1 special on Manhunters and Isle Destruction, apparently. We got Running Shot, Plasticity. On the back end of the die, you've got some Toughness. You've got Range Combat Expert on the front of the dial. The Manhunters, quite frankly, are no joke. See, there's a character. You might know him. He's the head of the Red Lanterns, Atrocitus. He came from a planet called Ryut. Now, back when the Manhunters were first created, they were following the Guardians' orders that emotion should be held in check, which is why nobody knew about any of the other colors on the spectrum of light. We only knew Green Lantern, the willpower, the police force for the Guardians. Prior to that, these robots, these Manhunters, decided that the only way to limit chaos in the universe was to just kill every living thing, period, any sentient being. And so they were in Sector 666, go figure, and they showed up on a planet called Ryut, and they wiped out the entire population with the exception of, I think, like 5 or 6 beings. One of the, and they kind of became like the core of the Red Lantern. The core, kind of the heart of the Red Lantern Corps. And Atrocitus is from Ryut, and he has always hated the Guardians and the Green Lanterns ever since because of those Manhunters. I mean, these robots have wiped out entire planets, entire species, an entire sector of space before being put down. And then they pop up every now and then, the Sinestro Corps War, because they create great fear amongst the different sectors in the universe. So Manhunters are no joke. The fact that you get a 30-point figure for free if you run 3 of them, you're just going to throw a 4th one in. That's kind of crazy. What is this, the farmer's market for villainous robots? This is nuts. Let's go with Bizarro, and I'm hoping that this is the Bizarro from Forever Evil, subject Bizarro. I hope so, man. I hope so. Let's see. Legion of Doom, Metropolis, Outlaws, Brute are the keywords. Set number 13. Bizarro, no take Bizarro. People no take Bizarro serious. Oh man, is one of his traits. When Bizarro starts the game, you may turn him to click number 9. If you do this game, his dial turns in the direction of decreasing click numbers when he is damaged and in the direction of increasing click numbers when he is healed. So opposite day, you start at the end of his dial, and as he gets hurt, you go back towards the beginning. If he would be turned past the starting click, KO him. Protected, Pulse Wave. If played at 60 points, his starting click would be click number 5. Okay, On the back, Superman enemy. Ah, darn. So he's more of just a classic Bizarro. Oh, man. I was really hoping because, and I think I said this on day one, Lex Luthor in Forever Evil, he brings a bunch of villains together to battle the crime syndicate. And he kind of forms, he has Captain Cold instead of the Flash. He has Bizarro instead of Superman. But it was subject B0. So he calls him B0 all the time. And halfway through, it's like I said, it was like Frankenstein's monster. Halfway through, he's learning. And he starts to speak and have an emotional connection with Luthor. And then he calls himself Bizarro because he's just learning to speak. And it was such a cool little nod to the classic Bizarro, but in a new... Because I think Forever Evil, I think, comes, as the New 52 was starting, I think is when that story happened. All of these reboots really start to confuse me, but I think that's when it happened. But anyway, really, really cool story. Very Lex-centric, but B0 was such a cool part of that Frankenstein's monster kind of thing. All right, let's go with Deadshot next. Might not have the same costume that if you're a classic fan of DC, he doesn't have that same kind of Floyd Lawton look to him there. With the arm pistols, with the wrist pistols, the wristles. That's what I'm going to call them. I'm just going to call them wristles. Gotham City, Secret Six, Suicide Squad assassin, the target. Oh, okay. Deadshot is in the set and does have this shared trait with all the other assassins. At the beginning of the game, for all friendly characters with this trait, give a target token to an opposing character. For all characters with this trait, when a friendly character with the assassin keyword KOs an opposing character with a target token, score 25 victory points. I'm still a little bit unclear whether this means that each assassin gets to pick their own target, which could get very confusing on a map, or if all assassins on your team have to pick the same target. On the back, you've got 1 shot, 1 kill. Power, range 8. Make a ranged attack that deals penetrating damage, but only to target opposing characters with a target token, regardless of line of fire. Wow. Deadshot living up to his name right there. 8 range. Now, naturally, he has a 6 range with 2 targets. You gain 2 extra range and don't have to worry about line of fire, and you deal penetrating damage. So if we look back at the front of his card, he's got some range combat expert. He can deal 3 damage using that thing from 8 squares away to make sure that your team gets that 25 extra points outside of your opponent's team build. That is pretty crazy. So that is a Deadshot for you all. I'm going to put him over there with the rest of the Harley-esque characters. Last but not least, the biggest bad I think that we have pulled in this booster, Brainiac. Oh, man. In Justice League, Cosmic Robot and Scientist. New configurations. Leadership. When Brainiac uses it, friendly characters within range that share a keyword with him are considered adjacent to him. Okay. Your mightiest defeated by math. Damage special power. Outwit. When Brainiac uses it to target a character that can use Impervious and chooses a defense power, modify the target's combat values by -1 until your next turn. Protected. Outwit. So he has probability control, has some pulse wave. I'm finding with the big villains in these sets that they're not really OP. They're not crazy powerful. I mean, Brainiac has brought Earth to its knees a number of times. I don't know that this is necessarily reminiscent of any specific highly overpowered Brainiac. It seems more like a catch-all here. He does have Team Player on the back of his dial. Vril Dox, of course, has been around for a very, very long time. I mean, anybody that can shrink an entire city down and put it in a bottle is, pretty powerful in my book. I mean, it's backfired on him a couple of times. I mean, when he had a small Kryptonian town in a bottle on his ship, that really bit him in the butt. However, I was expecting maybe just a little more reach from this guy. Still, the ability to do things with people at range, sharing, keywords and all that stuff. It's interesting. He's not as powerful as I thought he was going to be, but you know what? I'm not a huge Brainiac fan. So maybe I don't see him the same way that somebody out there who is a big fan, like immediately looks at that guy and goes, yeah, I can't wait to run that. All right, let's see. Second booster for the day before we get into the OP kit. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Hey, we got our first Flash Rogue. Let's go. Not who I expected it to be either. Let's see. We pulled... Oh, that's Superman. I thought it was Bizarro for a second. We just pulled Superman, and I tried to throw him off the table. Yeah, Supermanite's weaknesses, being thrown on the ground or kryptonite. We've got a Solomon Grundy. All right. We've got Black Manta. And if you look at these color schemes, again, like very, very much Super Frenzy. This is like a Super Frenzy kind of Black Manta. He's got like this lavender and dark purple costume with the yellow eyes. I'm used to Black Manta having those glowing red eyes. We've seen this trick before. Mirror Master. Look how shiny he is. Very, very reflective there. I love the Flash Rogues. I love Mirror Master. Very cool. And then we've got OMAC. Okay. Boom. All right. OMAC's, of course, happening leading up to Infinite Crisis after the death of Maxwell Lord in modern times. Now, back in the day, there was a singular OMAC back when it stood for One Man Army Corps. A guy named Buddy Blank was the original OMAC in a short-lived comic series back in the 70s. And he was granted powers by this corporation or something like that. He was like a Swiss Army guy. But in modern times, oh man, what did it stand for? I'll have to remember. Let's look at the OMAC first, actually. Here we go. OMAC going up. We could take a peek at that. OMAC is set number 19A. Ooh, wait a minute. Could we get Buddy Blank as the Prime? Oh man, that would be so awesome. I think we've had OMACs before. I don't think that we have had like the one-man Army Corps on his own. But these look like the OMACs that came out after Maxwell Lord mind-controlled Superman, and then Wonder Woman ultimately killed him to save Earth. Brother Eye, the satellite up in the sky, decided to activate all these OMACs all over the world. OMAC, Project Cadmus, Robot, and Spy, updating protocols. OMAC starts the game on click number 6. Once per turn, when another friendly OMAC 19A is KO'd after resolutions, you may heal OMAC 2 clicks. OMAC may heal past his starting line this way. Okay, so 25 points. But I'm guessing, yeah, OMAC starts the game at click number 6. So every single OMAC just pops onto the board. 25 points down for only 1 click. Interesting. Okay. On the back, you got OMAC Project number 1, various. You got hypersonic speed. You got a bunch of different powers on this guy. And, observational, metahuman, I don't know. I can't remember. Observational, metahuman, activity construct. Activity construct. I'm going to go with that. Observational, metahuman. I know those are the first 2 words. Activity construct? I don't know. It's kind of like, do you know when like, it's like in John Wick. It's like there's all these assassins everywhere, but none of them are like really like waking up or anything. They were like all these sleepers, like all these OMACs had been all over Earth, I think. But they were like, I can't remember. They were like hiding amongst the human population, and then Brother Eye woke them all up. Anyway, pretty cool story. The OMAC project leading into, like I said, Infinite Crisis. I know there's been a ton of crises, but that's a cool story. When Wonder Woman snaps Maxwell Lord's neck, huge, huge moment in DC Comics. And it started a lot of things rolling. So if you missed those storylines, go back and take a look at them, because Maxwell Lord is actually really dangerous, and those stories are pretty cool. Let's look at Superman. We saw Batman already. I'm guessing that this is going to be an absolute power style Superman. Kryptonian, Legion of Supervillains, Metropolis, Future, Past, and Ruler. Absolute power, Superman. Superman deals penetrating damage to characters that have the team ability chosen for JLA. So Batman did something against JLA as well. I can't quite remember what he did. I think it improved like attack or something like that towards them. Actually, let me look it up. Opposing characters that have the team ability chosen for JLA can't use shape change or super senses is what Batman does. So here's Superman dealing penetrating damage to any JLA member, has the super ally team ability. Again, Absolute Power was such a cool storyline, but it was really about the connection between Batman and Superman and their destinies. They couldn't seem to outrun them. And at certain points in the story, one of them will wake up to what their destiny really was, and then they start trying to fight back against their three parents who altered the time stream, and those, Lightning Lord, Cosmic King, and Saturn Queen. They eventually become heroes again, but they have to race to find their own destiny. And part of the heartbreak of that storyline is that for Superman to stay on course with his destiny, he goes back to the moment where he was found by the Kents in the field, and the Legion of Supervillains killed the Kents and took Superman and kidnapped him basically on their own. He goes back to that moment and he makes sure that doesn't happen, and he ends up with a happy family. For Batman to keep in his destiny, he has to go and witness the death of his parents again, which is just, it's so heartbreaking and so heavy. And I know that we've seen it so many times, but he has to make sure that that happens so that the world can have a Batman. And at one point, he can't do it, and he completely alters the time stream because he saves his parents. He's like, screw that, man. I'm going to live in a world where my parents live. And we get to see what Batman would be like, Bruce Wayne would be like, in a world like that. So really, really cool storyline. Again, it was Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness started that run. I think by the time it got to this story, maybe Michael Turner or maybe Aspen Entertainment was doing the art for it. Still really awesome. Okay, let's look at Mirror Master next. Like I said, been wanting to see the Flash Rogues. Mirror Master, Central City, Injustice League, Rogues, Secret Society of Supervillains, Suicide Squad, and Assassin. Duplicates, Super Senses. When Mirror Master uses it and succeeds, after resolutions, he may generate a Notorious set number 29 Mirror Master on click number 7 within range. This game, that character is not scored when KO'd. When Mirror Master uses Super Senses, increase the result by +1 if one or more adjacent characters are named Mirror Master, protected, outwit. So he keeps on popping these out onto the map, and then he can bring them to him and start pumping his Super Senses all the way down. That's pretty cool. I mean, I guess eventually he could only fail Super Senses on a roll of 1. That would be cool. I love that he has all of this improved movement. He can move through anything. That is really, really cool. We've seen Mirror Master pull a lot of really nasty tricks. He is underestimated, I would say, as a villain. I really love. We'll take a look at the back of his card here. And there you go. Good old Sam Scudder. He's got some running shot, precision strike, all of those things. Very cool. Okay. I'm going to put them on this side because the rogues have a nobility about them. The Flash Rogues, There's an unspoken partnership between a lot of them that, they don't always just double cross each other. It's like I said earlier, they are such a working class, like blue collar bunch of criminals that you can't help but kind of root for them. Black Manta, let's go with Black Manta next. And like I said, it's like that Legion of Doom looking, that the old Super Friends kind of motif we got going on here. Injustice League, Legion of Doom, Secret Society of Supervillains, Suicide Squad, Assassin, and Pirate. Keyword, set number 34 comes in at 90 or 45 points at starting lines. Undersea Salvage. Trait, unique modifier. Free, if Black Manta occupies or is adjacent to water terrain, roll a d6. All friendly characters with the dolphin move symbol modify the listed combat values, matching the number on the d6 by +1 until your next turn. On a 3 to a 4, attack value. Damage value for 5, and on a roll of 6, attack and damage. If you roll a 1 and 2, you're out of luck. On the back, we've got we've got another trait, Rampant Piracy. When a friendly character with the dolphin symbol hits a single equipped opposing character, they may choose to deal a maximum of 1 damage to that target. If they do, they may equip any equipment equipped to the hit target. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. You do less damage, but you immediately get the equipment equipped to yourself without having to have it dropped and pick it up and pay an action to equip it. Great. Devil Ray, special attack power, energy explosion, precision strike, and knockback. Real name, David. Just David. I'm pretty sure we know David's last name, right? It starts with the H, I think. Can't remember. Anyway, there we go. 7 clicks long. Black Manta is a character that is just very vicious in the books, and this style kind of goes along with that. I think back in the day, like with the Super Friends stuff, is like Black Manta was always kind of looked at like a joke, kind of like Aquaman, Black Manta, the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. They're in the water, they talk to animals, this and that. But Black Manta they've really sharpened him in the books over the years, and I really, really appreciate it. Okay, last but not least, we have Solomon Grundy before we get to the OP kit. Gotham City, Injustice League, Legion of Doom, Secret Society of Supervillains, Brute, Monster, and Mystical keywords. Set number 16, and comes in at a point cost of 70. He has a trait called Return from Slaughter Swamp. Free. If Solomon Grundy occupies water terrain, heal him 2 clicks. Solomon Grundy has Safeguard Outwit. So you just heal him 2 clicks no matter what if he's in water terrain? I mean, I get it. I understand the swamp aspect of the whole thing. He's got Sidestep. He's got Invincible down his entire dial, though, which is crazy. Batman Enemy Team ability, which is, that's really good for that because he can share that. He can share that all the way down his dial. And he's got Injustice League, so, crit hits are bigger. But the Invincible, I think, all the way down the dial for him is going to be way more important to him than being in water terrain. I mean, we need to see a lot more maps. There's a lot of characters in this set that need water terrain to trigger something, like more than usual. But yeah, definitely, Solomon Grundy, very hard to kill, high ability to stay alive. That's pretty cool. Okay, I think that moves us actually into the OP kit for the Riddler, the bonus little action that we have for today. So first thing we'll do before we look at the figure is pop open the map that they're going to be getting for the OP kits. And the first side is the Iceberg Lounge. Oh, that's awesome, man. Iceberg Lounge. Some penguins, running around in here. I expect you could put a couple of polar bears on this map too. And then on the other side, oh yeah, yep, there we go. Injustice Gang. Is that what they were called in Super Friends? Were they called the Legion of Doom? Were they called the Injustice Gang? I can't remember. What I love about the Iceberg Lounge map on the other side is there's like that big iceberg in the middle. There's that stage where like the band plays. There's drums. There's a set of drums on it. I'm sure there's images of this up online. If there's not, I hope you got a good enough look at it. But the maps both look very, very cool. I love the Injustice Gang interior, but the Iceberg Lounge for me, such a cool setting for everything. Penguins operations running out of there. Very, very cool thing to have on a map. Let's take a look at the Riddler, and let's see what he's from. We've seen this sculpt already. I'm going to throw it up here for a second. Let's see. Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Underworld, Legion of Doom, and Detective keywords. Okay. 100 is the set number. Comes in at 40 points. War came to Gotham. At the beginning of the game, you may generate... Oh. A mystery card, 001, War of Jokes and Riddles, onto an opponent's sideline. This game, it's friendly to that opponent's force. If you do, that opponent may choose a character friendly to them to gain the detective keyword this game. Okay, trying to wrap my head around this. You are tossing a mystery card onto your opponent's sideline when you play the Riddler. Now, the war I think they're talking about is going to be the War of Jokes and Riddles. Tom King wrote an awesome eight-issue run where Batman is recounting when Gotham City almost fell into ashes and ruin because the Joker and the Riddler got into a war. If we look on the back, knock, knock, incapacitate when the Riddler uses it after resolutions, modify a hit character's combat values by -1 for each action token they have until your next turn. Yeah, I think this is, the War of Jokes and Riddles between the Riddler and the Joker. I wonder if there's a Joker counter to this. Pretty cool. We do have the mystery card to take a look at. This one's only 5 clicks long. It's got stealth on the front end, leap, climb. It's got mastermind, of course, some willpower. Very cool. But now I really want to take a look at this mystery card. Mystery cards are sticking around. So let's take a look at what the mystery card does. Okay. The War of Jokes and Riddles. During force construction, you may include any number of mystery cards on your sideline. All mystery cards are unique. Each mystery card has a list of keywords and a clue effect that allows that card to gain clue tokens. When a clue effect is triggered, place a clue token on that card. If multiple mystery cards have the same named clue effect, you may only place a clue token on one of these cards when that named clue effect is triggered. Each mystery card has effects that may be used while the number of clue tokens on that card is equal to or greater than the number listed in parentheses next to the effect. All clue effects and named effects have sideline active. Now remember, you're putting this on your opponent's sideline and allowing them to choose a detective. Let's flip the mystery card over here. The War of Jokes and Riddles. Okay, the keywords necessary, Batman family or detective. Clue effect, Gotham Knights. When a friendly character with the listed keyword attacks or is attacked while occupying hindering terrain, after resolutions, gain a clue token. Okay, that's your generator, right? When a friendly character uses outwit, perplex, or probability control, roll a d6. On a roll of 1 to 3, give that character an action token. Oh my gosh, this is cool. Okay, evidence. You need 3 on here for this. When you use this mystery card suspect effect, increase the result of the roll by 1. Case closed. When this effect becomes active after resolutions, remove this mystery card from the game. Okay, so attacking or being attacked in hindering terrain is going to generate these clue tokens that you put onto this card. For 0 clue tokens, though, when a friendly character uses outwit, perplex, or probability control, roll a d6. On a roll of 1 to 3, they gain an action token for using a free action in the game. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So you are putting, I've never expected a mystery card to do something that would hurt your own team. The fact that the Riddler's placing it on the opponent's sideline. Now, the opponent can get rid of it once they earn 5 clue tokens. They can do case closed and they can remove it from the game. That's awesome. And there's a way for them to be able to try and sidestep it and everything, but it's kind of cool. You're putting an effect onto your opponent that actually is going to kind of slow them down. I really, really like that a lot. What an inventive way. And man, Tom King is awesome. His run on Batman is incredible. This story that he did, The War of Jokes and Riddles, is really cool because it's Batman recounting it to Catwoman. So it's through the lens of Batman, and it was one of the most dangerous things that he's ever lived through. I mean, it scarred him for a time, which was pretty dang cool that you're kind of seeing it through his eyes instead of kind of learning it on the fly as it all is happening. I mean, it's a recounting, but the fact that it was the Riddler, the Joker, to see how involved they got in it and see how dangerous things got because the two of them don't know when to quit. I mean, that's the thing. The two of them just don't know when to quit. And yeah, man, it became something very, very dangerous. And yeah, super cool story. I recommend highly you going to read it. But to put that into context, into a mystery card that you can saddle your opponent with, oh, that's awesome. That's going to do it for today's unboxing video, day 3 of our Notorious unboxing series. We hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you to WizKids for sending us all of this stuff. Thank you to Hyper RPG Studios for letting me shoot here. And most importantly, thank you so much to you all out there for watching every single one of these series. The only reason they exist is because you all keep on coming out and watching. I hope you are enjoying this one as much as I am. I cannot wait to get my hands on this set. The set releases September 20th. The pre-release happening on September the 6th. So keep your eyes out for that. Call your local gaming stores, your local comic book shops, and order yours today. Support local stores. Support small businesses. They are always there for us, right? You know, they keep our pull lists. They make sure that we've got the product that we're hoping for. They find, the rare issues and the rare figures and all these things for us. We got to be there for them as well. You know, they are the backbone of gaming and comics, and that is the intersection at which HeroClix lives. So please, please, please shop local. One more thing to look out for. WizKids is going to have official channels set up on socials, on Instagram and Facebook, solely for HeroClix information and for HeroClix players and HeroClix fans. It is set up right now, so if you go to Instagram, go to @WizKids HeroClix, @WizKids HeroClix. It's going to be all HeroClix all the time, and if you're on Facebook, you can just search for WizKids space HeroClix. And there's going to be a place for our community to go and chat to each other, to get cool previews. There's going to be a dialed up series that we can be looking out for, and some really in-depth stuff. So I'm very excited that WizKids is going even further and doubling down onto the HeroClix stuff and giving us our own place and our own space to kind of chat and get all of our news and everything from. Very, very cool. So keep your eyes out for that. Something else to keep your eyes out for? Video number 4 coming your way tomorrow. I'll see you guys then, but until I do, may all your rolls be critical hits. Peace.